Hey guys, welcome to the Iron Mobility Fitness channel. I'm Coach Hallie, and today we're going to be doing a squat focused workout. Our main lift will be a double racked kettlebell squat. So you're going to want two kettlebells that are the same size for that, ideally. We're going to get started though with a little kettlebell complex. So you're going to need a lighter bell. I'm going to use a 10-kilogram bell. You can, use as light as you want. We're going to be doing a split stance position. And we're getting right into this because I've already warmed up. If you need a warm-up video, there's a link in the description to one of our hip mobility routines. Highly recommend it before you do this workout. We're going right into the strength stuff. Here we go. So in order to get into your split stance position, have your feet hips width distance, turn your foot directly to the side, 90-degree turn, and then swivel that heel back 90 degrees. And there's your split stance position. That back heel is popped up. Okay, so most of our weight is in our front leg. And now we're gonna hinge over and we're gonna do a little complex with a row, a clean, a split stance squat, and then an overhead press. And we're gonna do it 5 times and then switch to the other side. Okay, here we go. So bent over row first, clean the bell up. We do the split stance squat into the overhead press, bring it down, and repeat 4 more rounds of that. Cleaning, squat in that split stance position to the press. And I know I just did that differently. You can press right out of the squat as you're coming up to make it more of a thruster, right, in that split stance position, or you could stand all the way up and do more of a strict press. Totally up to you. If your bell is light enough and you are able to strict press it like that, go for it. Okay, 1 more round. And this is just to really get our whole body integrated, ready and warmed up for our heavier squats that we're gonna do as our main superset. Okay, just switch sides. Remember, you can start with your feet hips width distance, turn those toes 90 degrees, swivel that heel back, and have that back heel popped up, my friends. Most of your weight is in your new standing leg. Take a breath, hinge over, bend over row first, then clean the bell, and split stance squat to that overhead press. Bring it to the rack and then to the floor. 4 more rounds. Breathe with it, making sure that you're exhaling as you're fighting gravity. 2 more rounds. Here we go, last one. Awesome. Nice. And then we're gonna go into a dead bug variation. So let's actually grab one of the kettlebells. Maybe it's a little heavier than the one you just did, or maybe it's the same bell. This one's just a little heavier for me. It's a 12 kilogram, even though it's smaller. And we're gonna do a dead bug with this bell, press straight up above our chest, really protract through the scaps, bring the knees up over our hips to start. Stabilize through our spine, think rib cage in toward the ground. Inhales, you extend the leg. Exhales, you bend. Just getting as much leg extension as you can while keeping the pelvis stable. So try not to rock your pelvis. And what I mean by that is like this, where I'm letting my tailbone really move and my pelvis move with my leg, which is just, not making the abs do the work of stabilizing, helping to stabilize our spine and our pelvis as we're moving through the dead bug. And we're doing 6 leg extensions on each leg, so 12 total. I've got one more on each leg. Keep pressing that kettlebell straight up above your chest. Last one. Ring the bell down. Awesome. Grab a sip of water. And we're going to do that superset one more time before we move on to our main superset, which is those double racked kettlebell squats. Okay, so I'm going to grab my pink bell again. And we're going to go into this split stance squat sequence, little kettlebell complex. Oh yeah, feeling good. It's a beautiful day. I love working out outside when I can. I live in the PNW, the Pacific Northwest, so we don't often get a full sunny, light wind or no wind day. It's usually at least a little cloudy or a little windy. So this is perfect weather. It's like 65 degrees. Feels so good. All right, here we go. Second round. Get in your split stance position, hinge over. First side, we've got 5 rounds of this. Big breath in. And row first. Clean as you stand. Split stance squat to overhead press. And repeat. Three more rounds. Just go at your own pace if you need to. Always know in a workout class or a video like this, you can always go slower, especially if it's something that you've never done before. Take your time with it. Don't try to rush through because that's when injuries happen. Last one. And bring it down. Woo! All right, go ahead. Take a moment. We're going to switch sides. Same thing on this side. You got 5 rounds. Here we go. Take a breath. Hinge over. And we row first. Clean. Squat in that split stance position to overhead press. And I didn't mention this before, but if you're not comfortable squatting in this split stance position, you could always do a regular bilateral squat. Just start with your feet parallel. And do everything in that bilateral position. I just like doing things in the split stance position. It's more functional, translatable to everyday life. Last round. And bring the bell down. Awesome. We're going right into that dead bug. I'm going to grab one of my 12 kilogram bells. Here we go. Coming down. Set that bell up. Drive the scaps away from the floor. We're protracting actively through our scaps. Bring those knees up. And think of trying to lift your tailbone a little bit from the ground here so we feel our sacrum ground into the floor. And try to maintain that as you inhale. Exhale, pull back into that bent position. 5 more on each leg. Really press that bell up. The more you can protract your scaps, the more rib cage wrapping in you can get, that rib cage compression, but you're filling up the back of the rib cage. And you're really getting those abs to work deeper as you stabilize that rib cage position. One more on each leg. Last rep. and bring the bell down. Woo! Ah. Okay, we're gonna take a water break. As you can see, that dead bug is challenging. When done right, we get our abs to engage properly, and it's pretty brutal. All right. Whew. Okay, my friends, we are gonna get into some double racked squats next. And so, of course, if you are not familiar with the double rack position, or you haven't tried it before and it's intimidating, you can just do regular goblet squats, right? With one kettlebell, if you want, in a goblet position. Okay. And we're gonna do double rack squats, though I'll demo that in a second. And we're gonna do 8 reps of these double rack squats. So you're gonna double clean the bells up once, do your 8 reps of your squats, and then bring the bells down. Now, I'm gonna try to go at a relatively controlled tempo, 2 counts to descend, 1 count to drive up. Do the best you can with that. You know, as you get toward the end of the set, it might be more challenging to stick with my tempo, but see if you can do it for all 8 reps. Okay, here we go. Set your bells up underneath your center of gravity. Get in a nice low position for your hips. Big breath in. Get those lats to engage. Drive the feet through the floor and stand, cleaning those bells up. And now we've got 8 reps coming down. 1, 2, exhale, drive up. As you drive those feet into the floor, try to exhale. 6 more. Thinking about that rib cage position. 3 left. Just 2 more. Last one. Bring them down. Woo! All right, move those bells off to the side. And we have a press variation that we're gonna do in a half kneeling position. This is a tripod press. So it's kind of similar to a windmill. We're getting T-spine rotation. We're pressing the bell over our shoulder as the opposite hand is coming to the floor. So you're gonna be in a half kneeling position, but you're opening up your front leg to the side. So this point, and this hand make a triangle on the ground. That's why it's called a tripod. Okay. We're gonna do 8 reps of this as well. So just trying to take a moment to slow down my breath. We do want about, 90 seconds of rest between exercises to actively and adequately recover between our exercises, get oxygen back into our body, give our muscles a chance to figure out what the hell's going on. Okay, and so from here, we're gonna clean the bell up into our rack position on the same side of the leg that's up, okay? So clean this bell up. And then we're gonna rotate this. Hand's gonna come to the floor as I rotate and press up. And then I come up into hip extension, bring the bell down. 7 more. Inhale. Press. And I'm hinging my hips back in space to help create space for the rotation of my body. Aligning my shoulder, my wrist over my shoulder as I'm pressing up. 4 more. I'm coming into a vertical position before I bring the bell down. Knuckles are staying punching up to the sky. Wrist is not extending back. Last rep. Come down with control to the rack and then bring the bell to the floor. Awesome. We're gonna switch sides and do that same thing on the other side. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Here we go. Clean the bell up first. And then we rotate as we exhale and press. So inhale, exhale, hinge the hips back, come up to that vertical position, re-rack. Get as much of that rotation as you can so you can really rotate full lateral position here. 5 more. Align yourself, stabilize. Knuckles to the sky as you press. Two left. Last one. Awesome. And rest. Woo. All right. We're going to take, like I said, 90-second break before we go back into our double rack squats. So just take some time to breathe. Have some water, hydrate. And then set yourself up. I've got a bit of a lumpy ground, so it's hard to find a spot where my kettlebells won't fall over. We'll take 30 more seconds just to breathe. And remember, in life and in your workouts, try to breathe in through your nose. Get better oxygen that way. And exhale through the mouth. You can let out more heat out of your mouth. All right, my friends. Second round of our double rack squats or goblet squats. We've got 8 reps. Do the best you can with your tempo, controlling down, and then exhale, drive up in 1 count. Woo! Here we go. Suck myself up. Sometimes I really have to do that for myself. Here we go. Big breath in. And 8 reps coming down with control. Exhale, drive up. Six more. Three left. Last rep. Bring him down. Woo! Oh, yeah. Feels good to lift heavy weights. Makes you really feel alive, you know? Makes you feel grounded, that's for sure. How much more grounded can you get than lifting heavy shit? That kind of rhymes, I like it. Okay. We've got our tripod press next. Now, no rush. Woo! No rush, my friends. This mat is starting to get pretty hot, though. All right. Get down in the half kneeling position. Nice wide position. This leg to the side rather than in the front. Okay. And here we go. We're going to clean this bell up. 8 reps of this tripod press. And we rotate into it, driving the hips back. As you exhale and press. Inhale. Take your time with it. Find that T-spine rotation. Looking up past your fist. 5 left. Two more. Last rep. Go ahead, bring that bell down. Woo! And here we go. Other side. Shake that out. Take a few moments to breathe. If you want to take a little bit of rest between sides, maybe about 45, 60 seconds at least. So just tune in back to your breath. Inhale. You know, this isn't a HIIT workout. It's not a cardio aerobic class. We're doing strength-based movements. So it's different than if you were to go into a group fitness class and maybe you do some squats and some, strength-based movements, but you're moving faster, you're using lighter weights, you're not taking rest time between things because you're keeping your heart rate up in a very high intensity the whole class. And that has its benefits too, of course, for different things, for your heart health and your, anaerobic threshold and things like that. But our strength training is so important for building muscle, building denser bones. Talk about longevity. The more bone density you have, the better you're going to be at 80, 90 years old, because you won't have weak, frail bones. And building muscle, nothing like strength training builds muscle to help that bone density. Here we go, clean the bell up. And now we rotate as we exhale, pressing that kettlebell up. Inhale. Rotate, hinge the hips back. If you've ever done a windmill or a bent press, this is very similar. I like this half kneeling position. It helps build strength and confidence for the Turkish get up and for other skills that you do on the ground. Three more. Last rep. Bring the bell down. Woo! All right. Awesome, my friends. We're going to take a 90-second break again. And we have one more round of our double rack squats, and then we're done with this workout. So take some time to breathe. Meet me back here in a minute, and we'll do our third set. Okay, my friends, we are going in about 10 seconds. That's enough of a break. Here we go. Set your feet up, whatever that means for you in your squat position. Some of us have wider pelvises, especially women. We have wider hips, so your squat position might be a little wider with your feet. You might have to turn your toes out a little bit. Feel free to do what feels good for you. Okay, here we go. We've got 8 reps again. Clean them up. And now control down. Big breath in. Drive up in 1 count. 6 more. 4 left. 2 left. Last rep. Woo! Bring them down. Woo! Watch your toes. All right. Woo! And then we just have our tripod press. One more round of that. And then we are done with this workout, my friends. Almost there. Feels good. Get some intentional strength, some really dynamic things that get you in, 3-dimensional plane of movement. So we're not just always in our sagittal plane. Like this movement here is a very transverse planar movement. Here we go. Big breath in. Clean the bell up. And we inhale. Rotate, exhale, press. Come up. Reset. Awesome. We have 6 more reps. Take your time with it. Four left. Just 2 more. Last one. Woo! All right. Take a few moments to breathe. My shorts are riding up. All right, here we go. Second side. Last 8 reps here, and then we'll do a brief cool down together, okay? Here we go. Take a big breath in, clean the bell. And now we inhale here, rotate, exhale as you press, come back up to that full stack position. Find that alignment with every rep. Four left. Two more. Last one. Bring the bell down. Woo! Amazing. We did it. All right. Let's cool down together. We're going to do a variation of the world's greatest stretch. So just stand with your feet hips width distance, all 10 toes facing forward. Take a moment, standing up nice and tall. And then bring your chin down to the center of your chest, start to roll down through your spine. You can have a little bend in the knees. Hang over your legs. Let your neck and jaw relax. And, bend your knees as much as you need to bring your hands to the floor. We're going to walk out into a tall plank position. Take a moment here, stabilizing in your plank. And then step 1 foot forward to the outside of your hand. Reach that same arm up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, thread that arm through the underside of your opposite arm and torso. Do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Exhale. 1 more. And then bring that hand down underneath your shoulder. Bring the back knee down. And just pull your chest open here. Deepen your stretch for the back legs, hip flexors, and quad. You want to really drive your hips forward, but try not to just sink into your pelvis. Try to have a little bit of a push away from the floor with both arms and keep everything active. Take one more breath. And then curl the back toes under, and we're just gonna straighten both legs and come into a forward fold over this front leg. You can bend into the knee a little bit, but find a nice stretch for the glute, the hamstring, the whole back of this front leg. And you can bend into that front knee a little bit, place both hands on the ground, walk your feet back into a downward dog, pedal through the feet a little bit for a moment. Bring both heels to the ground, push out of both shoulders, find a big stretch. And then shift forward into your plank again. And then step your opposite leg forward into that nice long lunge. Bring that same arm up, inhale. Exhale, thread that arm through and under. 2 more like that, inhale. Big exhale. 1 more time. Bring that hand down under the shoulder, bring the back knee down, and just take a moment, set up for a nice deep stretch for the front of that back leg's quads and hip flexor. Keep pushing out of your shoulders, reaching your chest forward, but not sinking into anything. Take 1 more breath here. Curl the back toes under and just step that back foot in a little bit maybe. Straighten both legs. Hang over that front leg. Excuse me. And just release. Find your deepest stretch. And then this time we're gonna just turn to the side to face in an open, big, wide position. Maybe you can bring your hands and elbows down to the floor as you stretch and hang over. Just try to relax everything. And then we're gonna inch the feet in, heel toe the feet into a deep squat position. You can bring your toes out a little bit. Try to get into a nice deep squat or like an 8 position. Maybe hands in prayer or hands with your fists pressing together to drive your elbows to the inside of your thighs and knees. Try to sit up nice and tall. Take 1 more breath here. And then bring your hands to the floor. You can inch your feet a little closer together again. Maybe hips width distance. Hang over the legs 1 more time. And then bend into the knees and slowly roll up through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking your body over your center of gravity. Head comes up last. Draw the shoulders back away from your chest. Stand up nice and tall, top crown of your head, reaching up to the sky. All right, my friends, thanks so much for joining me today. Hope that workout felt great. Got the right combo of strength and just dynamic movement and a little cool down at the end. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please like this video, share it with a friend, helps boost our algorithm and gets us in front of more people. And if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below. Any requests for a type of workout or an exercise to go over, leave it in the comments below. We would really appreciate it. And we love creating content that you guys want to see. So make sure you leave a comment and request something for us. All right. We'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe to the Iron Mobility Fitness channel. I'm Coach Hallie. Thanks for joining me today. And I'll see you soon. Bye.